Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Poems with Friends.
Hi, this is Anurag. This is Megha, our constant collaborator, and we have Tanmay with us as our friend in Poems with Friends. Tanmay writes and reads a lot of Urdu and Hindi poetry, so we are very excited to have him here. And
Hmm.
today we'll do a poem by Louis Gluck.
Hmm.
So Megha found this poem, and I think we
Uh,
did two Louis Gluck poems. We did just one the last week, and we
hmm.
were very impressed by her in general about how much she catches feelings that a lot of other poems don't. So
हाँ
excited
एक्चुअली
to have.
लास्ट वीक जो हमने पोएम करी थी वो काफ़ी फियर्स थी एंड दैट इज़ द इमेज दैट आई हैड ऑल्सो क्रिएटेड ऑफ लुइस क्लूक क्योंकि जो हमने पर्पल ब्रीदिंग सूट करी थी वो भी काफ़ी फियर्स सी थी बट दिस इज़ समथिंग डिफरेंट एंड ये पढ़ के मुझे थोड़ा सरप्राइजिंग भी लगा कि लुइस क्लूक हैड रिटन समथिंग सो सैड तो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वाई आई वॉन्टेड टू डू इट एडल्ट ग्रीफ बाय लुइस क्लूक because you were foolish enough to love one place. Now you are homeless, an orphan, in a succession of shelters. You did not prepare yourself sufficiently. Before your eyes, two people were becoming old. I could have told you two deaths were coming. There has never been a parent kept alive by a child's love. Now, of course, it's too late. You were trapped in the romance of fidelity. You kept going back, clinging to two people you hardly recognized after what they'd endured. If once you could have saved yourself, now that time's passed. You were obstinate, pathetically blind to change. Now you have nothing. For you, home is a cemetery. I've seen you press your face against the granite markers. You are the lichen, trying to grow there. But you will not grow. You will not let yourself obliterate anything. बहुत ज़्यादा सैड हुआ है रोना आ रहा है पढ़ पढ़ के और बाकी कैसी लगी बाकी लोगों को
First feelers, Tanmay.
I think it. We were discussing it a little bit before we joined also. So like, I think it becomes sadder the more you read it. I was trying to like have an image, an alternate image of the meaning on top of it, which has some conflicts in some parts, but like the imagery itself is very sad on the surface, I think.
राइट देखो कैसी लगी अनुराग
I also really liked it. I think what stuck me throughout the poem was its first line. The way she meant, like how she repurposes orphan, like she jumps into it. Like I think for me everything is colored by that single word because orphan is like you kind of have that feeling of that what David Copperfield कौन सी है वो
हाँ
चार्ल्स डिकेंस की वो orphaned बच्चों की novels वाली feel आती है orphan से but this is like you are a grown person and an orphan. It's just such a interesting word that people don't use. And I think that colored everything. Like that was the first impression. I was like, oh my god, that's true. And well, that kept coming back.
इंटरेस्टिंग इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर मी ऑल्सो मतलब मेरे लिए तो दिस पोएम हिट वेरी वेरी हार्ड बिकॉज it felt like it was directly speaking to me, especially जो mention of fidelity है ना and of holding on to something that is not there anymore कि there has never been a parent kept alive और ये वाली जो इमेज बनाई इसकी हम बात करेंगे जब हम आएंगे but it felt like it was directly talking to me this poem and I love when poems do that. ठीक है स्टार्टिंग से पढ़ते हैं. uh,
Because you were foolish enough to love one place, now you are homeless and orphan in a succession of shelters. You did not prepare yourself sufficiently. Before your eyes, two people were becoming old. I could have told you two deaths were coming. There has never been a parent kept alive by a child's love.
interesting. आई थिंक मेरे को ये लाइन मतलब गोइंग बैक टू व्हाट अनुराग वाज सेइंग अबाउट ऑर्फन इन अ सक्सेशन ऑफ शेल्टर्स भी मतलब वही व्हेन यू लुक एट this word orphan and this line in a succession of shelters from an adult perspective तो उसका एक अलग ही फीलिंग आता है मतलब इट्स लाइक कि when someone dies and you're extremely sad you try to put yourself in different situations. You try to like hold on to, let's say, friends, or hold on to a romantic partner, or hold on to like some other thing, something that maybe work. तो it's बट वो जो फीलिंग है वो ये है ना कि यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड शेल्टर समवेयर, बेसिकली यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड बिलोंगिंग समवेयर. तो वो वाली फीलिंग एडल्टहुड में जब लगा दो तो उस वो और सैड लगती है.
I also really like हाँ कि I think why I love this poem is because it's so apt. Like it's one does feel all this, but as an adult, you are feeling so much that like it really speaks to the child within you when as an adult your parent like dies because it's because there are so many things going on and so many society expectation how you behave, but this part of the small child that is mostly ignored, like she speaks directly to it. I really like that part.
Right, right. Me too. मतलब almost when you are reading it, it's like that inner child is reading that poem. Someone is talking to it. That's a very nice point. इसीलिए भी इतना sad लगता है. और even जो ये lines हैं कि I could have told you two deaths were coming. There has never been a parent. मतलब ये कितनी simple सी बात है ना. But it's like when these lines are spoken to your inner child, they hit you like a truck. कि कितनी ऑब्वियस सी बात है ना ये, जो एक चीज़ है जो तुम एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हो, दिस ग्रीफ, दिस डेथ दैट यू आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इज द मोस्ट ऑब्वियस थिंग इन द वर्ल्ड. तन्मय तुम्हें किस लगी?
So I have been looking at it from a lens ki maybe the poet is not talking to themselves. That the you here is not the person but a part of the person. But they are still talking to themselves effectively, but like not to their entire self. And
Right.
I'm trying to reimagine what parent can mean in that context. Ki if, for example, the poet is talking about her tears. So there's a sense of the fact that the tears are loving the dichotomies that created them. But just because of that love, those dichotomies will not continue to exist. And it is given that they will die. And that and the journey of that tears or that emotion of crying is going through different parts of your brain that you may not have access to, but it will never like be the one place that they belong to.
Right, you're saying कि everything is ethereal. मतलब it's not just the death of a parent. Everything that you might attach meaning to will go away. तो and I love what you're saying about a part of that person. मतलब हर इंसान के multiple parts हैं. So it's like one part of the poet is talking to another part of the poet, which is also what is amazing about this poem. कि अपने आप से ही बात करना एक तरीके से, but one part of you is the adult part of you, which understands all of these obvious truths. But the other part of you is still a little child which does not understand all of these obvious truths. जो काफी सही है. ठीक है, next.
मतलब I want to point out one more thing here कि you did not prepare yourself sufficiently is because she talks about two people dying. And that's very interesting because both parents are not dying in a car crash. Like one died and then another died, and she's saying ki how foolish ki you have felt that, like you have gone through the journey, you could have been prepared, but you were willfully blind.
Right, right.
Which makes this poem not very universal also, because a lot of people like there's a journey, a lot of people are prepared for that, and she's saying I was not. कि
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very blind to that grief that will hit me, even though it was very predictable that it is going to hit.
I
So,
agree. बट आई ऑल्सो थिंक मतलब इट इज मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत सारे लोग दे जस्ट प्रिटेंड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड बट इन देयर हार्ट दे स्टिल होल्ड दैट इमेज ऑफ कि एक चाइल्डहुड हैप्पीनेस की एक इमेज होती है ना कि बचपन में जब तुम खुश थे उसकी एक इमेज होती है तुम्हारे मन में एंड आई फील दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल स्टिल होल्ड ऑन टू इट इवन इफ दे प्रिटेंड दैट दे हैव गॉट देयर लाइफ टुगेदर एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा they still hold on to that image in their head matlab that image is like the definition of love and happiness for them and they still hold on to it deep inside ऐसा मुझे लगता है
interesting. I think I get it, like, because I think what I feel is resonating that there is a home. I think that also happened to me, for example, ki, oh, now you are homeless is a very specific feeling that I felt. Ki, I remember ki, when my mother passed away, ki, and I was attached to her. So it did not need like two people dying for me to feel this. But I remember कि the center of gravity kind of shifted from Delhi to Bangalore.
right
कि Delhi में क्या रखा है? What is there? It's not a home.
exactly
So and कि now this is Bangalore. It is. So हाँ
right
true कि but that was also because I was attached to the parent. I can totally see if the dynamic is not where you go for shelter to your childhood home, you would not feel this particular, like, because she's talking about a very particular feeling of grief. She's not just saying parents dying.
Of course, हाँ, I agree. मतलब वो एक particular type of grief है which I think both of us have personally felt, but I agree that maybe it's not a universal feeling for everyone. Agree करती हूँ मैं. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. फिर में next करेंगे.
Now, of course, it's too late. You were trapped in the romance of fidelity. You kept going back, clinging to two people who you hardly recognized after what they had endured.
हाँ, I think वही कि what Anurag was saying about you did not prepare yourself is something which is कि एकदम से कोई कार क्रैश नहीं हो रहा है. It is not a sudden grief that is hitting you. It is more because कि you keep holding on to something that is slowly withering away. Let's say one parent dies, then another parent dies, but you are trapped in the romance of fidelity कि मतलब चीज़ें खराब हो रही हैं but you still feel that they will become better. मतलब वो फिर से सब कुछ childhood जैसा हो जाएगा. You think like that. तो यू केप्ट गोइंग बैक क्लिंगिंग टू पीपल यू हार्डली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड मतलब ये लाइन भी कितनी सही है मतलब दिस इज सच अ यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ दैट शी हैज पुट इन हियर मतलब इट हैज नथिंग टू डू विद ग्रीफ पर से बट इट इज जस्ट अ यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एजिंग वो भी मुझे काफी सही लगा
I agree. I think this poem keeps bringing back very specific memories in my mind. Like, there are like,
sorry about that
it's very interesting. I distinctly remember कि my mother had come to my college and like when I was said her कि bye जाओ etc. I did not book a like AC bus, like it was the standard वो फट फट bus 220 rupees Delhi to Roorkee, and I distinctly remember after like after a while कि how terrible, she is an old woman कि I sent her in cold into that bus because I was fine with it. At some point in life she was fine with it, but she is not that woman anymore, like she is old.
right
कि that कि in small things you completely forget that the person has changed. Needs are different. It just as in it's a very throwback poem. Like I just keep remembering random stuff.
I think I find like this second line very interesting because it opens up a lot of ideas of where do we like ascribe this fidelity to? Is this your fidelity to the parent? Is this their fidelity towards each other? Or a third different thing of like just the idea of fidelity. I don't know, like
Right. I understand what you're saying, and matlab many kinds of fidelity, I think, and the whole thing should, like, it's just basically about that idea of what you said, na, romanticizing childhood. Matlab, a lot of people, including myself, when they go home, no matter how old they are, sometimes they start behaving like children. So it's like you fall back into that pattern of the childhood that was, the world that was, the universe that was, and you are too loyal to that idea. You are too loyal to that happiness. Matlab, maybe that happiness comes very once in a while now, matlab, for just a moment, but you are just too loyal to that idea of happiness. आई थिंक आई वॉज इवन गोइंग बैक टू दी, मतलब मैंने इसलिए रिलेशनशिप वाली चीज़ भी मैंने इसलिए बोली थी बिकॉज एज यू सेड ना कि इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट पेरेंट्स, वो भी मुझे पॉइंट काफ़ी सही लगा. मतलब दिस पोएम इज़ अबाउट पेरेंट्स एंड अबाउट अ फीलिंग ऑफ होम, बट लेट्स से यू हैड अ रियली लॉन्ग रिलेशनशिप विद समवन ऑल्सो एंड दैट समवन इज इन योर माइंड, दैट पर्सन फील्स लाइक होम. तो तब जब वो रिलेशनशिप भी एंड हो रहा होता है और वो रिलेशनशिप बहुत क्लियरली टॉक्सिक हो चुका होता है या वो एंड हो रहा होता है फॉर सम रीज़न, यू स्टिल कीप क्लिंगिंग टू इट. इवन अगर तुम्हें एक मोमेंट ऑफ हैप्पीनेस भी मिल जाए जो पहले मिला करता था, तो तुम्हें लगता है कि वो सिर्फ लॉयल्टी से ही वो चीज़ जो है वो रिवाइव हो जाएगी, बट एक्चुअली वो नहीं होगी रिवाइव. मतलब दैट होपलेसनेस ऑफ लॉयल्टी, मुझे मतलब दैट कैन अप्लाई टू एनीथिंग, राइट?
Oh wow, this discussion that you two people had is actually very nice, because I also agree now that this, I think, hits also because people may not be able to apply it maybe to the parents, etc. But they may be able to apply it to something, because a lot of people do want to go back to happier days in whatever they feel was happier, and that idea that even if you get a glimpse of it, you are like, oh, things are right, or things are on the right track, and it's fine.
Right.
Okay, and you do not look at the reality. Okay, this person is not that person anymore, or this person is never was this person. Okay, you only had the idea of this person.
Right. I think it's also becoming easier for me to discuss this poem if I put it in another context. The parents' context is too painful. तो मैं वहाँ पे इमेजिन कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, लास्ट पैरा कहते हैं, लास्ट एंड अमेजिंग पैरा.
if once you could have saved yourself, now that time's passed. You were obstinate, pathetically blind to change. Now you have nothing. For you, home is a cemetery. I have seen you press your face against the granite markers. You are the lichen, trying to grow there. But you will not grow. You will not let yourself obliterate anything.
समय आ गया, बंदी आ गया, जीनियस इंसान आ गया. इस पैराग्राफ, दिस इज द पैराग्राफ बिकॉज ऑफ विच आई एक्चुअली डिसाइडेड फाइनली टू गेट दिस पोएम. दिस इज सच अ जीनियस पैराग्राफ. ठीक है, आई विल लेट अदर्स टॉक.
Like, Tanmay, what do you think about this?
So, like, the interpretation I was having in the first paragraph, like a lot of reason for that was this last line. That, but you will not grow. You will not let yourself obliterate anything. Like, it is, the time has passed. Like, please accept that you are not allowed to obliterate anything. Like, this is done. Like, if you wanted to come out at some point, like the tears wala context, like there were a lot of times that you could have done it. Now that time has passed. Now there are very set things that I have for the dichotomies that created you. Now wherever you are is a cemetery. You can try to grow yourself into something, but you will not. Like, it almost feels like I forbid it.
राइट. मतलब हाँ, इस पोएम का टोन बहुत सही बोला तन मैंने कि इस पोएम का टोन बहुत ही अमेजिंग है, बिकॉज इवन दो दिस होल पोएम फील्स लाइक द एडल्ट यू टॉकिंग टू द चाइल्ड यू, स्टिल द एडल्ट यू इज नॉट गिविंग यू लाइक सूदिंग एडवाइस. जैसे मैरी ओलिवर की कुछ पोएम्स में भी हमने देखा है, वो भी ऐसा करती है, वो खुद से ही बात करती है, बट वो बहुत मदरली टोन में बात करती है खुद से. मतलब वो एडवाइस टाइप की देने लगती है. this is very interesting because the adult you is basically saying now that time is past, if once you could have saved yourself, अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता. मतलब she is not even telling you कि भाई advice दे रही है या बोल रही है ऐसे कर लो. She is like कि अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता. और मतलब she is saying you will not grow, you will not let your, मतलब she is just stating a truth कि एक ऐसा, और which is so freeing actually कि अगर कोई इंसान एडिक्ट है तो तुम उसको ये नहीं बोल रहे कि एडिक्शन छोड़ दो या तुम धीरे धीरे कोशिश करोगे तो हो जाएगा. तुम उसको बोल रहे हो कि तुम एडिक्ट हो और अब तुम एडिक्ट ही रहोगे पूरी जिंदगी. और मतलब तुम बहुत ही न्यूट्रल टोन में बोल रहे हो ये चीज़. मतलब तुम गुस्से में भी नहीं बोल रहे हो, तुम बहुत मैटर ऑफ फैक्टली बोल रहे हो कि ये है, ऐसा है. तो मतलब वो बहुत फ्रीइंग लगता है मुझे. तो वो मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट टोन इज़ वेरी फ्रीइंग फ्रॉम मी बिकॉज आई एम नॉट हियरिंग एडवाइस. बिकॉज एक होता है ना कि जब तुम्हें इतना ज़्यादा ग्रीफ हो जाता है, इतना ज़्यादा ग्रीफ हो जाता है, and I have gone through like an amazing amount of grief in the last year, and I have had some like well-meaning friends tell me ki oh you just need time, or oh maybe now you can do things for your mother or something like that. And I would get so angry when they used to say things like this because वो इतना overwhelming grief होता था ना कि ऐसा लगता था कि तुम क्या बात कर रहे हो यार, अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता. तो वो मुझे बहुत सही लगी ये लाइंस इसलिए कि अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता. उसने बोला है कि नहीं हो सकता अब कुछ, क्योंकि दैट इज व्हाट यू एक्चुअली फील.
You're saying there's a comfort in finality of
हाँ,
things.
there's a comfort in no one telling you कि this can be fixed because you internally don't feel that it can be.
That is what the child was doing here, right? That the child was trapped in the romance of fidelity, hanging on to certain things, kept going back to it, etc. But they're like, oh yeah, this is final.
सच में हो गया सब खत्म.
But another thing, I think your motherly thing triggered in me, and the part where Tanmay said that there is two people talking within you, is that it's possible the parent used to talk to her like this.
हाँ ये भी हो सकता है. That's an interesting point. Right.
But मतलब नहीं भी हो सकता. It's a self-comforting thing. But I like the idea कि उसके parents brutal थे कि बेटा, this is how it is. This is the hard truth of the world. And she's like, who is me? Now this is comforting to me.
But I think that is a very nice way to look at the last line. Ki, like I was initially looking at it in a like almost angry finality sense. Ki, you are not allowed to do this. But it can also, like now that you say it, be looked at. Like, so first of all, this imagery is so beautiful, and I think I don't know how to pronounce lichen, so lichen it is for now. But like just this image.
मेरे को भी बहुत अच्छी लगी. मतलब दिस इमेज इज ऑल्सो समथिंग आई फेल इन लव विद बिकॉज इट जस्ट डिस्क्राइब द ग्रीफ इन सच एन अमेजिंग वे कि मतलब होता है ना कि भाई कि तुम्हारा होम डिस्ट्रॉय हो चुका है, एंड इवन इफ वन पेरेंट डाइज, बेसिकली आई रिलेटेड दिस इमेज टू द फीलिंग ऑफ दैट इवन इफ वन पेरेंट डाइज the entire dynamic of the home changes, right? Now it's not the same home anymore. मतलब now even if you go back, like it's not the same anymore. And this image is so amazing because मतलब she's saying I've seen you press your face against the granite markers. You are the lichen trying to grow there. मतलब क्या image है ना कि मतलब सब ग्रेवयार्ड है और ग्रेवयार्ड में तुम पत्थर पे मुंह चिपका के वहाँ उगने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. मतलब एवरीथिंग इज डेड बट यू आर जस्ट नॉट गिविंग अप, यू आर स्टिल ट्राइंग टू ग्रो देयर. मतलब दैट इज सच एन एप्ट वे टू डिस्क्राइब दैट ग्रीफ कि एवरीथिंग मतलब दैट यूज्ड टू बी इज गॉन. maybe something new will come up is a different thing, but what used to be is gone. But you are just not accepting it, you are not accepting it to that extent कि तुम एक पत्थर पे उगने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. और मेरे को नेचर से जब लोगों को कंपेयर किया जाता है तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है बिकॉज आई ट्राई टू डू इट माई सेल्फ कि वो जो ग्रीफ है उसको उसने मतलब वो नेचुरल एक चीज़ से डिस्क्राइब कर दिया ना, नेचुरल फिनोमिना से, कि ग्रेवयार्ड में जो फूल उग रहे हैं वो एक तरीके से उस फीलिंग की तरह है कि सब मर गया है बट तुम उगने की कोशिश कर रहे हो फिर भी तुम मतलब इतने तुम जिद्दी हो.
I have a question here. What does you will not let yourself obliterate anything mean? Because I understood all of it, but I think obliterate is like killing, and okay, you will not grow, you will not obliterate anything. Okay, what were you trying to obliterate?
ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि ये ही चीज़ थी जो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा हिट हुई कि अ फ्यू वीक्स अगो आई वॉज एक्चुअली थिंकिंग कि मतलब वही द आइडिया ऑफ होम दैट यू रिलेट, तुम्हारे माइंड में जो होता है ना द आइडिया ऑफ होम दैट यू ऑलवेज कीप रीइटरेटिंग कि वो ऐसा होगा तो खुशी होगी, समथिंग समथिंग होगा. तो आई रियलाइज्ड अ फ्यू वीक्स अगो बिफोर रीडिंग दिस पोएम दैट somehow I had to destroy that idea of home from inside my head. Somehow I had to destroy that idea of happiness. Let's say the idea of happiness is like a huge happy family या जो भी एक मेरा idea था, which is now let's say unachievable, yeah, which is gone. So I have to destroy that idea. I have to destroy that part of myself and define a new definition of happiness. Only then I will be able to get out of the grief and be happy. तो इसीलिए मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा ये. आई डोंट नो इफ दैट इज व्हाट शी मेंट बट दैट इज व्हाट आई गैदर्ड.
Saying you will not let yourself. मतलब कि what is she saying कि you will not let yourself obliterate the idea of your happy home?
आई थिंक मतलब आई बिलीव कि इवन इफ यू अप्लाई टू अ रिलेशनशिप, जैसे हमने बोला कि अगर कोई रिलेशनशिप है जो खत्म होना चाह रही है बट तुम खत्म नहीं होने दे रहे हो, तो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे देयर इज अ सेंस ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन दैट हैज टू कम इनटू यू, राइट. तुम्हें वो सब डिस्ट्रॉय करना पड़ेगा. वो जो रिलेशनशिप थी, वो जो तुम थे उस रिलेशनशिप में, वो जो तुम्हारा आइडिया ऑफ हैप्पीनेस था उस रिलेशनशिप में रहते हुए, वो सब तुम डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं करोगे जब तक, तब तक तुम कुछ और किसी और रिलेशनशिप में जा ही नहीं सकते ना. एक सेंस ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन के
But
बाद ही तो
that is what she is saying. She is saying that you are doomed to be stuck there. That you will not grow. The death has happened. You want to move on, but you will be stuck. You will not grow. You will not yourself obliterate anything. You will not just not grow. In my mind, after all the discussion, it feels much gloomier picture in the sense that you cannot even block out those painful memories. You are doomed to live with this idea कि you have nothing and you have to live with that fact for eternity. There is no scope for growth is what I understood. I don't know.
मतलब देर इज, मुझे ऐसा लगा देर इज स्कोप फॉर ग्रोथ इफ यू अलाउ डिस्ट्रक्शन. आई थिंक ये जो लाइंस हैं यू विल नॉट ग्रो, ये थोड़ी डबल मीनिंग लाइंस हैं. बेसिकली जब उसने बोला आई हैव सीन यू प्रेस योर फेस, यू आर द लाइकन ट्राइंग टू ग्रो देयर, तो यहाँ पे ग्रो का मतलब है जो नेचुरल प्लांट ग्रोथ है. बट यहाँ पे ग्रो का मतलब है ग्रो एज अ पर्सन, मतलब मूव ऑन. यहाँ पे ग्रो वर्ड का मतलब है मूव ऑन. तो वो इन 3 लाइंस में ये बोल रही है कि यू विल नॉट ग्रो, बट वो थोड़ा एक उसके साथ बोल रही है, मतलब एक टोनैलिटी के साथ बोल रही है कि तब तक तुम ग्रो नहीं कर पाओगे जब तक तुम डिस्ट्रक्शन अलाउ नहीं करते. वैसा लगा मुझे कि यू विल नॉट बी एबल.
Okay, she's like you will not grow in the granite markers because your growth is elsewhere type.
हाँ, मतलब you can grow in the granite markers as a lichen, but you will not actually grow as a person, or you will not be able to move on
If you do that,
unless
okay, it's a two choice. You either grow as a lichen on the granite marker and be stuck there, or do not grow there and grow as a person elsewhere.
grow as a person, and you can only grow as a you will not grow unless you obliterate is what I think she means. You will not grow unless you obliterate. मतलब वो unless नहीं बोल रही है, but I think she means to say unless. मतलब वो tone है, but you will not grow, you will not let yourself. कि मैं तेरे को बोलूँ कि अनुराग तू कभी नहीं करेगा, तू तो लेट होता रहता है, but तू ऐसा कभी नहीं कर पाएगा unless you let yourself obliterate things.
Interesting.
मतलब वो डिस्ट्रक्शन वाला
You
आइडिया,
had a very particular idea that you said you wanted to.
मेरे को ये डिस्ट्रक्शन वाला आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लगा बिकॉज दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई वाज थिंकिंग अबाउट रिसेंटली कि मतलब इट इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट टू डिस्ट्रॉय अ सर्टेन आइडिया और अ सर्टेन स्ट्रक्चर इन योर ब्रेन. आई थिंक वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इट मतलब सम टाइम अगो कि हमने कि ब्रेन का एक स्ट्रक्चर होता है ना, कि यू क्रिएट अ स्ट्रक्चर विच इज़ योर आइडेंटिटी, विच इज़ योर आइडिया ऑफ हैप्पीनेस, विच इज़ योर आइडिया ऑफ हाउ यू आर सपोज टू लिव. बट लेट्स से कि समथिंग हैपन्स जिसकी वजह से तुम्हारा वो स्ट्रक्चर डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाता है. लेट्स से तुम्हारा कोई बहुत लंबा रिलेशनशिप टूट जाता है, या तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स की डेथ हो जाती है, या तुम्हारी जॉब चली जाती है, तो इन दैट केस यू एक्चुअली नीड सम डिस्ट्रक्शन टू हैपन, क्योंकि तुम्हारे ब्रेन में अभी भी वो स्ट्रक्चर है एंड योर ब्रेन इज नॉट रेडी टू लेट गो बिकॉज वो उसको हैबिट हो गया है उस स्ट्रक्चर में जीने का, उस तरीके से जीने का. तो यू हैव टू फर्स्ट डिस्ट्रॉय योर सेल्फ इन अ वे, मतलब you have to in a way obliterate everything, destroy your that part of your identity, only then you can actually move on.
It's such an interesting poem. It's so personal and seems universal. Like it seems very specific and universal at the same time. And I think I agree with you too in the sense that this idea of कितना weird सा idea कि चिपक के stone में बांधना है इसका.
बहुत ही बढ़िया
But
इमेज है वो तो यार, बहुत ही बढ़िया इमेज है. That image like gave me catharsis. That's what I was trying to do. और ये लाइन ब्रेक्स कितनी अच्छी है यार, यहाँ पे देख रहा है. बट यू विल नॉट ग्रो, यू विल नॉट लेट योर सेल्फ, यू विल नॉट लेट योर सेल्फ ग्रो. वैसा लाइन ब्रेक कर दिया उसने. यू विल नॉट गेट लेट ऑब्लिटरेट एनीथिंग. दैट लाइन ब्रेक्स वर्क सो वेल.
I think I agree with Tanmay also when what he said initially. That this poem is like you read it, but it gets sadder and sadder as you like read it and read it.
I want to discuss favorite lines because this is such an amazing poem. Favorite lines. मेरी तो ये है. I have seen you press your face against the granite markers. You are the like in trying to grow there. मतलब the image itself is really good. Plus मतलब I have seen you press your face is such a great way to say it ना, कि the adult you is talking to the child you. And जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा सेल्फ पिटी में चले जाते हो या बहुत ज़्यादा सेंटिमेंटल ग्रीफ में चले जाते हो, तो आप बहुत अजीब अजीब हरकतें भी करते हो. बट यू आर डूइंग देम एज इफ नो वन इज वॉचिंग यू. बट दिस एडल्ट पार्ट ऑफ यू इज सेइंग कि आई हैव सीन यू, मैंने देखा है तुम्हें पत्थर में चिपक चिपक के रोते हुए. आई हैव सीन ऑल ऑफ योर सेंटिमेंटैलिटी. और फिर उसको उसने इतनी ब्यूटीफुली डिस्क्राइब भी कर दिया कि यू आर द लाइक एंड ट्राइंग टू ग्रो देयर. तो आई जस्ट लव दिस कि मतलब उसमें एक कॉमेडी भी है, एक हार्शनेस भी है, कि वही एक बहुत हार्श मदरली फिगर नहीं होती हु वांट्स द बेस्ट फॉर यू बट हु विल नॉट लाइक टॉलरेट योर अननेसेसरी सेंटिमेंटैलिटी. वो फीलिंग है इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा.
I think my favorite lines are there has never been a parent kept alive by a child's love. It's such a it is such a truth, but it's I relate with it. I sometimes wonder back what I could have done better. कि and it's like free. It's like मतलब it's like
yes,
yeah,
I
whatever.
totally agree. It's very freeing. मतलब seeing it written like that, I don't know, it gives it some kind of authority. और बहुत I also agree. It's very freeing to read it.
Because she does not embellish anything. She just says it. And it's very nice to just कि हाँ ठीक है, good to know कि
Good to know.
कोई और भी बोल रहा है कि हाँ ठीक है, thank you, लोग, thank you. I'll probably try to avoid the guilt that I live with.
right. चलो थैंकफुली अच्छी फीलिंग्स भी आई थी इस पोएम को पढ़ के. मुझे लग रहा था कि मैं खुद को तो ट्रॉमा दे दूंगी इसे पढ़ के, तुझे भी दे दूंगी. बट आई एम हैप्पी. तन्मय, योर फेवरेट लाइंस?
I actually like think that like in my line is my favorite also. Like I think though like my thing is I think I just like it for the image. Like it is so nice to romanticize death. Like from like a distance, like the finality of it is so nice. Like comforting-ish to me. So like that is why I like that line. I very much I think would appreciate that fidelity line more as I think more on the poem, because I think that is the line that makes me question like all meanings that you think of it the most. Like because that parent wala meaning also I think has like some problems with how I think this is like other interpretations we discussed also have but like what is this fidelity is like something that is still in my mind a little bit.
Nice. It is something that stays with you. Huh? I also love this line. Nice. ठीक है. I think lovely poem. And okay, guys, then it's goodbye for now. Bye. And we will
Bye-bye.
see you next time.
Ta-da.